Students, today we are going to study the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So let's begin with our first topic. Students, our first slide is physical and chemical changes. We will discuss about what are physical changes and what are chemical changes. To understand the difference between a pure substance and a mixture, let us understand first of all, let us understand the difference between a physical and chemical change. If you want to know about the what is the difference between pure substance and mixture, we have to learn about the physical and chemical change. In the previous topics also we have learned that about what are physical changes, what are the physical properties of matter. The properties that can be observed and specified, like color, hardness, rigidity, fluidity, density, melting point, boiling points, are known as the physical properties of matter. The interconversion of states is a physical change because these changes occur without a change in composition. Students, there will be no change when the interconversion of states takes place, and no change in the chemical nature also doesn't takes place between the substances. Although ice, water and water vapor all look different, ice, water and water vapor looks different and display different physical properties and possess different types of physical properties, but they are chemically on the chemical basis they are same. Both water and cooking oil are liquid. Their chemical characteristics are different. Both water and cooking oil are liquid. Both are liquids, but their chemical characteristics, when we talk about the chemical characteristics, they are completely different. They are different in the basis of odor and inflammability. We know that oil burns in air. Oil, when comes in contact with the air, it burns, but when whereas water extinguishes air. If we want to extinguish the fire, we use the water. So students, in this slide also we will continue with the previous topic. It is the chemical property of oil that makes it different from water. Because of the chemical property of oil, it seems different from water. Burning is a chemical change. Burning is underlined, it is a chemical change. During this process, one substance reacts with another to undergo a change in the chemical composition. In the process of burning, the substance reacts with another substance to undergo the change in the chemical composition. The chemical composition changes. Chemical change brings change in the chemical properties of matter. With the chemical change, there is a change in the chemical properties of matter also, and we get to know new substances, and new substances are introduced. A chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. A chemical change is also known as the chemical reaction. So students, in this slide we will discuss about the types of pure substances. The first is elements. So what are elements? An element is a substance that cannot be broken down into any other substance. It can't be broken down into any type of other substance. Every element is made up of its own type of atom. Uh, Each and every element is made up of atom. This is why the chemical elements are very well different from each other. So every element is made up of different type of atom. So that they are chemically also different from each other. Everything in the universe contains the atom of at least one or more elements. Everything we see in the universe, that are present in the universe, contains at least one or more than one type of atoms. The periodic table lists all the known elements. In the periodic table also, the next slide I have given you the picture of the periodic table also, and groups together those with the similar properties. An element is a substance that cannot be broken down into any other type of substance. So students, let's continue with the same topic, that is elements. There are 100 types of elements, with each one of its with the own atom. So if there are 100 elements, then there are 100 types of atoms present in it. Everything in the universe contains the atom of at least one or more elements. The periodic table lists all the known elements, grouping together those with the similar properties. Those are present with the similar type of properties. Most elements are metals, which are shiny and conduct electricity well. Metals include examples of metals are gold, aluminium, and iron, which are all solid at the room temperature. Mercury is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. Some elements are non-metals. Most non-metals are gases at room temperature. Most of the metals are gases at room temperature, and they do not conduct the electricity. Non-metal elements with these properties include, there are non-metals with which possess these type of properties are oxygen, hydrogen, and chlorine. A few non-metals such as carbon and sulfur are in a solid state at a room temperature. Carbon and sulfur are solids at the room temperature. Students, next type of pure substance is a compounds. So what are compounds? A compound is a chemical substance. It is one of a type of a chemical substance which is composed of many identical molecules. Identical means same type of molecules are present in it. Composed of atoms. It is also composed of atoms from more than one element, which hold together by chemical bonds, which are holding together by the chemical bonds. There are four types of compounds depending on how the constituent atoms are held together. The four types of compounds are there, which depends on how the constituent atoms will be hold together. The first is molecules held together by covalent bonds. If the covalent bonds are present, the compounds will make. Ionic bonds held together by ionic bonds only. Intermetallic compounds held together by metallic bonds. Certain complexes held together by coordinate complex covalent bonds. Students, through the help of diagram, we can easily learn what is the difference between compounds and mixtures. Compound is a pure substance containing only one kind of molecule. A mixture is not a pure substance. It may consist of various kinds of atoms and molecules. A compound is a new material with properties different from the elements constituting the compounds. A mixture is not a new material. The constituents of a mixture retain their properties. It is not possible to separate the elements from their compounds by physical methods. It is usually possible to separate the constituents of a mixture by physical methods of separation. In a compound, the elements are combined in a definite ratio, and whereas in the mixtures, the elements are combined in an indefinite ratio. It is the diagram to show the classification of matter. So, matter is classified into two types. That is, first is mixtures and the second is pure substances. Mixtures are of two types, that is homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous mixtures examples are gasoline, air, food, colored water, pumping, alcohol. The examples of heterogeneous mixtures are dirt, soil, salads, sandwiches. So, how the pure substances are classified? It is classified into two types, that is elements and compounds. We have studied it earlier also. The examples of elements are gold, silver, aluminium, foil, etc. And the examples of compounds are sugar, water, and table salt.